If your birthday falls anywhere between the 11th and the 20th of your birth month, Social Security is sending your next payment on June 17th. That part you probably already knew. But what most people receiving that deposit don't realize is that this particular payment arrives at one of the most consequential moments in Social Security history. And if you were born before 1964, there are at least 3 things happening right now that could permanently change how much money you receive for the rest of your life. Some of it is good news. Some of it is a warning. And one piece of it involves money that may already be owed to you that you haven't collected yet. So before that deposit hits your account on June 17th, let's talk about what's actually going on. Because staying uninformed right now is the kind of mistake that costs real money. Let's start with the biggest shift in Social Security in over 40 years, because it just became official, and it directly affects anyone who was born before 1964 and hasn't claimed yet. For most of Social Security's history, full retirement age was simple. You hit 65, you get your full benefit. That started to change in the 1980s when Congress passed a law that slowly pushed the retirement age higher to help shore up the program's finances. For decades, that age crept upward in small 2-month increments. But in 2026, that gradual process has finally reached its endpoint. For anyone born in 1960 or later, the full retirement age is now 67. The age at which workers who paid into Social Security can collect 100% of their earned retirement benefits. The phase-in is over. No more partial ages, no more transition rules. It's a flat 67, and it's not going higher unless Congress acts again.
Now, here's why that matters for you specifically. If you were born before 1960, so if you're in your mid-60s or older right now, your full retirement age is already behind you or arriving very soon. If you were born in 1959, your full retirement age is 66 and 10 months. If you were born in 1958, it's 66 and 6 months. But if you were born between 1960 and 1963, you are in the group where this new permanent rule now lands squarely on your shoulders. Your full retirement age is 67. No exceptions, no grandfathering, no workarounds. Kiplinger. And here's where costly mistakes happen. A lot of people in this age group assumed they could claim at 65 or 66 and get their full benefit. They were wrong. Claiming at 62 instead of 67 reduces the monthly benefit by about 30%. On an average Social Security benefit of around $2,081 a month, which is where the average is sitting in 2026, that 30% reduction means you'd be walking away with roughly $624 less every single month. Over a year, that's $7,488 gone. Over a decade, that's nearly $75,000 out of your pocket, and that reduction is permanent. It doesn't get corrected later. It follows you for the rest of your life. Grants for seniors. But there's another side to this that most people overlook, and this is the part that can actually work in your favor. For people born in 1943 or later, delayed retirement credits add about 8% per year for waiting after full retirement age, up to age 70. No extra credits are earned after age 70. Let's put that in real numbers. If your full benefit at age 67 is $2,000 a month, waiting until age 70 adds 24% on top of that. That's an extra $480 every single month, or $5,760 more per year for the rest of your life. Someone born in 1960 or later with a full retirement age benefit of $2,000 per month would get just $1,400 at age 62, but $2,480 at age 70. That's a $1,080 difference every month between the worst decision and the best one. If you live to 85, the person who waited to 70 collects roughly $194,000 more in total benefits than the person who grabbed their check at 62. That is not a small number. Grants for seniors. My annuity store.
Now, waiting isn't always possible. I understand that. If you need income now, claiming earlier can absolutely make sense. But if you are still working, or you have a spouse with a smaller benefit, or you're in reasonably good health, the math on waiting can be dramatically in your favor. The problem is, most people never sit down and actually run those numbers. They see 62 and they take it because it's there. Don't make that decision without understanding what it actually costs. There's another detail many viewers overlook, and this one involves money that may already be owed to you right now. If you are a retired teacher, a police officer, a firefighter, a federal employee under the civil service retirement system, or anyone who worked in a public sector job that didn't withhold Social Security taxes, pay close attention to this next part. The Social Security Fairness Act ended the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset, provisions that reduced or eliminated the Social Security benefits for over 3.2 million people who receive a pension based on work that was not covered by Social Security. For decades, these rules were quietly cutting or completely eliminating Social Security checks that public servants had earned and paid into during other periods of their careers. That law was repealed. The cuts are gone. Social Security Administration. Here's the financial impact. The average WEP reduction was $480 per month. With that cut now eliminated, affected workers could expect roughly $5,760 in back pay for 2024 alone. The SSA announced it would issue retroactive payments covering benefits dating back to January 2024, when WEP and GPO were repealed, with increased monthly benefits beginning in April 2025. Wealthview, Texpers. But here's where things become critically important, and this is the part that a lot of people are missing. As many as several million people have not received full back payments related to the repeal due to how the SSA interpreted the retroactive payment eligibility under the law. A March 2026 letter from senators pressed the SSA to grant maximum retroactive payments to protected spouses back to January 2024. If you are a surviving or divorced spouse of a public sector worker and have not seen an adjustment, follow up directly with the SSA. And crucially, if the GPO would have eliminated your spousal or survival benefit entirely, you may never have bothered applying for Social Security.
That benefit is now potentially available to you, but you need to apply. The SSA is not going to call you. The money isn't going to appear automatically if you were never in the system. You have to take action. Fed Week +2. If you're not sure whether you qualify, contact the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. Have your Social Security number ready, any pension documentation you have, and any prior SSA correspondence. This could be thousands of dollars, or in some cases, tens of thousands, sitting on the table waiting for you to claim it. Now, let's talk about what's actually landing in your account on June 17th, and what some people are going to be surprised to discover when they look at their deposit. All June payments reflect the full impact of the 2.8% cost of living adjustment for 2026. For the average retiree, that means roughly $56 more per month. On paper, that sounds like a raise, but most people don't realize that what arrives in your bank account isn't the same as what Social Security says your benefit is. Capital Skyline. The Part B Medicare premium rose to $202.90 in 2026 from $185 in 2025, an increase of $17.90 per month. That Medicare increase consumes almost 32% of the monthly COLA raise. So instead of seeing a $56 gain, your actual net increase after Medicare deductions is closer to $38. On a benefit of $2,000 a month, that's the difference between feeling a real cost of living boost and wondering why your check barely moved. Kiplinger. And that's just the standard Part B premium. If your income in 2024 was above certain thresholds, you are likely paying IRMA, the income-related monthly adjustment amount, which is an additional Medicare surcharge stacked on top of the base premium. If you had a one-time event in 2024 that pushed your income higher, a home sale, an IRA conversion, a pension lump sum, an inheritance, the IRS reported that to Social Security, and now they are charging you more for Medicare coverage based on income you may no longer have. Most people don't even know this surcharge exists until they see it deducted from their check.
If you're paying IRMA surcharges based on a high income year in 2024, file Form SSA 44 and appeal if your income is dropped. If you worked in the public sector and never received a WEP or GPO adjustment, or if you never even applied for Social Security because your benefit would have been eliminated by those rules, contact the SSA immediately because that money may now be available to you. And if you haven't claimed yet and you're still deciding between claiming early or waiting, understand the real dollar difference before you make a choice that's permanent. For nearly 71 million Americans, Social Security payments are the backbone of monthly budgeting. Rent, groceries, utilities, and medical bills often revolve around one key question:
when does the money arrive? But knowing when the money arrives is only half the equation. Knowing how much it should be, what's being deducted, and what you may still be entitled to, that's the part that separates people who get every dollar they've earned from people who unknowingly leave money behind. Capital Skyline, that is exactly why this channel exists. Every week, we cover the Social Security rules, the Medicare updates, the payment schedule changes, and the overlooked opportunities that don't make headlines but absolutely affect your monthly income. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because the next update could be the one that saves you from a costly mistake or puts money back in your pocket that you didn't know was missing. And if this video helped you understand something you didn't know before, share it with someone who needs to hear it, because too many people are navigating the system without the information they deserve.